America is reeling from a tragedy that has sent shockwaves through every corner of the nation. The news of Charlie Kirk's untimely death has left millions in disbelief, struggling to process the loss of a figure who, for many, represented the voice of a generation. Streets are filled with somber faces, and communities across the country are united in grief, regardless of political affiliation. Charlie Kirk, a leading conservative voice, was more than just a political commentator. He was a passionate advocate for youth engagement in politics, a mentor to many, and a symbol of the power of conviction. His sudden and tragic death has left a void that will not be easily filled. At just 31 years old, Kirk founded Turning Point USA, an organization that quickly grew into a national movement. Through his tireless efforts, he inspired millions of young Americans to become politically active, sparking debates and conversations on college campuses and beyond. His energy and determination made him a household name, and his influence reached far beyond the conservative sphere. The shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk during a public event has not only sparked national grief, but also a deep sense of fear and uncertainty. The circumstances surrounding his death have raised urgent questions about the safety of public figures and the state of political discourse in America today. Kirk's death is a stark reminder of the dangers that come with political division and the fragility of life itself. The nation is forced to confront the reality that passionate debate can sometimes spill over into violence, and that the cost of such division can be devastating. As of September 12, 2025, the United States finds itself in a period of national mourning. Vigils are being held in cities and towns across the country as people from all walks of life come together to honor Kirk's memory and to seek comfort in one another. The outpouring of support and solidarity is a testament to the impact he had on so many lives. Meanwhile, the search for his killer continues. Law enforcement agencies are working tirelessly, and the nation watches with bated breath, hoping for answers and justice. This tragedy has prompted a nationwide reflection on the tone of our political conversations and the urgent need for civility and respect, even in the face of disagreement. Charlie Kirk's life was defined by his unwavering conviction and his commitment to his beliefs. He challenged others to think critically, to engage, and to stand up for what they believe in. His death is not just a loss for his supporters, but for the entire nation, a reminder of the cost of division and the value of every life. As the nation mourns, there is a collective call for answers, for justice, and for peace. In this time of loss, Americans are reminded of the importance of unity, compassion, and the enduring hope that even in the darkest moments, a brighter future is possible. On a brisk evening in early spring, more than 3,000 people filled the main auditorium at Utah Valley University. The air was electric with anticipation as students, faculty, and community members gathered for a highly anticipated event featuring Charlie Kirk, a prominent and often controversial public figure. The crowd buzzed with excitement, some eager to hear Kirk's message, others simply curious about the spectacle. Security was visible but relaxed, and the atmosphere felt festive, with people chatting, laughing, and snapping photos as they waited for the program to begin. As the event got underway, the energy in the room was palpable. Kirk took the stage to a wave of applause, his voice echoing through the packed hall, but in an instant, everything changed. A single deafening gunshot rang out, slicing through the noise and plunging the auditorium into chaos. The vibrant atmosphere was shattered, replaced by confusion, fear, and panic as people ducked for cover, unsure of what had just happened. In the blink of an eye, Kirk was struck in the neck by the bullet. He collapsed on stage, his body crumpling as those nearby rushed to his aid. Security personnel and bystanders scrambled to respond, some attempting to shield others, while others tried desperately to help the fallen speaker. The event, which had begun as a celebration of free speech and civic engagement, was instantly transformed into a scene of terror and confusion. Within moments, first responders were on the scene. Paramedics and emergency medical teams fought to stabilize Kirk, performing CPR and administering life-saving measures right there on the stage as the audience looked on in shock and disbelief. The minutes felt like hours as everyone waited, hoping for a miracle. Despite their swift and valiant efforts, Kirk was rushed to the hospital, but the injuries proved too severe. He was pronounced dead shortly after arrival, leaving the community reeling from the loss. Almost immediately, the university campus was locked down. police cordoned off entrances with yellow tape, and flashing lights illuminated the night as law enforcement officers secured the scene. The once bustling university grounds were transformed into a crime scene, with students and staff ordered to shelter in place as investigators began their work. Detectives and forensic teams moved quickly, gathering evidence from the auditorium and surrounding areas. It soon became clear that this was not a random act of violence, but a calculated assassination. The shooter had chosen their moment with chilling precision, targeting Kirk in front of thousands and escaping in the ensuing chaos. Investigators recovered a high-powered rifle, left behind near the edge of campus. Forensic audio analysis confirmed that the fatal shot had come from this weapon, fired from a concealed position with deadly accuracy. The evidence pointed to a well-planned attack, carried out with cold intent. In the days that followed, the university community was left in mourning. Students and faculty gathered for candlelight vigils, their faces illuminated by flickering flames as they remembered Kirk and grappled with the horror of what had happened. Flowers and handwritten notes piled up at a makeshift memorial, a testament to the deep scar left by this senseless act. The impact of the attack rippled far beyond the campus. The American flag flew at half-mast, and news of the tragedy dominated headlines across the country. People everywhere debated the meaning of the attack, an assault not just on one man, but on the ideals of public assembly and free expression. The entire nation felt the weight of the loss, and the fear that such violence could strike anywhere, at any time. As law enforcement continued their search for the shooter, the nation was left grappling with difficult questions about security, safety, and the future of public discourse. The investigation pressed on, but for many, the wounds left by that night at Utah Valley University would not soon heal. In the aftermath of Kirk's shocking assassination, law enforcement officials have stepped forward to share what little they know about the man believed to be responsible. At a tense press conference, authorities released a preliminary description of the suspect, hoping that someone, somewhere, might recognize him and come forward with information. The details are few, but every clue is vital in a case that has gripped the nation and left a community in mourning. According to police, the suspect is described as a white male, likely in his early 20s, with dark hair. On the day of the crime, he was seen wearing a black t-shirt emblazoned with an American flag, a detail that has stuck in the minds of witnesses and investigators alike. The image, captured in a grainy surveillance photo and rendered in a police sketch, has been circulated widely in hopes of generating leads. Witnesses also recall that he wore blue jeans and a pair of well-worn Converse sneakers, blending in with the crowd as if he were just another face in the city. A distinctive cap, marked with a triangle logo, completed his casual look. These seemingly ordinary details have become crucial identifiers as investigators piece together the suspect's movements before and after the shooting. Surveillance footage from nearby businesses and traffic cameras has provided investigators with a clearer timeline of the suspect's actions. Detectives have spent countless hours reviewing video, analyzing every frame for clues: his gait, his posture, the way he glances over his shoulder. Eyewitness accounts have helped fill in the gaps, offering descriptions of his demeanor: calm, focused, and chillingly determined. Despite these efforts, the suspect's true identity and his motives remain a mystery. The lack of answers has only intensified the urgency of the investigation, prompting a nationwide manhunt. The FBI has issued a wanted poster, and law enforcement agencies across the country are on high alert, following up on every tip and tracking possible sightings. News outlets have splashed his image across screens and front pages, making him one of the most wanted men in America. Authorities have issued a stark warning to the public: do not approach this individual under any circumstances. He is considered armed and extremely dangerous. Law enforcement is urging anyone who may have information to contact them immediately, emphasizing that the safety of the community is their top priority. The sense of fear and uncertainty is palpable, as people wonder where the suspect might strike next. The suspect's image, blurred in some photos, crystal clear in others, has become a haunting symbol of the violence that ended Kirk's life. His face is now etched into the collective memory of a city in shock, appearing on news broadcasts, in newspapers, and even at vigils held in Kirk's honor. For many, the search for justice has become deeply personal. As the investigation continues, the hunt for the man behind the sunglasses, the one who pulled the trigger, remains relentless. Each day brings new leads, new questions, and renewed hope that the suspect will be brought to justice. Until then, his shadow looms large over the city, a constant reminder of the tragedy that has yet to find closure. The suspect's escape was as calculated as the assassination itself. He arrived on campus, accessed a rooftop for a clear view of the stage. After firing the shot, he fled across the rooftop, disappearing into a wooded area. His escape route suggests prior planning and familiarity with the location. The manhunt is concentrated in a nearby residential neighborhood. Authorities believe he may have had a getaway vehicle or safe house. The suspect's efficient escape poses a significant challenge for law enforcement. A massive federal manhunt is underway, led by the FBI. Investigators have received over 7,000 tips and conducted numerous interviews. A critical breakthrough came with the discovery of the murder weapon. A high-powered rifle was found in the wooded area where the suspect fled. The rifle and cartridge are being analyzed for fingerprints and DNA. Authorities found peculiar markings on unspent cartridges, possibly a misdirection. Crime scene investigators recovered shoe impressions and a partial palm print. A reward is offered for information leading to the suspect's arrest and conviction. The assassination has prompted a unified response from U.S. leaders. President Trump expressed grief, ordering flags at half-staff and honoring Kirk posthumously. Vice President Vance escorted Kirk's wife, underscoring the tragedy's gravity. Bipartisan condemnation highlights the threat political violence poses to democracy. Leaders call for reflection on political discourse, urging a commitment to peace. Kirk's assassination forces a reckoning with political violence in America. Experts warn of hostile rhetoric translating into real-world violence. The attack raises questions about the safety of public figures and events. Lawmakers reconsider security protocols, potentially shifting to more secure gatherings. The fear of violence threatens free speech and civic engagement. Disinformation complicates the investigation, highlighting modern political violence's hybrid nature. In the tragedy's wake, there's a call for calm and vigilance. Law enforcement urges the public to remain calm and provide factual information. The FBI relies on community vigilance to identify the suspect. Authorities ask for any unusual encounters or evidence from the event. Leaders encourage civil discourse, rejecting dehumanizing language. The responsibility for a peaceful society rests with everyone. The manhunt is a task for law enforcement, but unity is a task for us all. The call for calm and vigilance is a call to action for every citizen. As the manhunt continues, the nation remains on edge. The search for Kirk's killer is a priority with a clear suspect image in mind. The tragedy has united leaders in condemning violence and honoring Kirk. Yet deep anxieties about public safety and extremist rhetoric persist. The story is about more than finding one man. It's about confronting divisive forces. The public's role is crucial in fostering constructive civic engagement. As we seek justice, we must also seek answers for our democracy's future.